On last night's episode of Survivor Africa, the Boran tribe was forced to make another trip to tribal council, and once again the team voted to cast off a less than healthy competitor.
I don't know why I'm shaking. I don't know if it's because of lack of water or because I'm cold. Oh my God, I never thought drinking water would be so hard.
I think we're all worried about Jessie. Throwing up when you have so little hydration to go around is bad. It's bad for her, it's bad for us.
How are you physically going to help us in challenges? How are you physically going to help us, survive out here?
Well, no one here is going to tell whether or not they're feeling all right. If they're feeling sick, they don't want to show anybody that they're weak because they figure we're just going to vote them off.
Jessie, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go.
Jessie Camacho is a deputy sheriff from Orlando, Florida. Jessie, good morning.
Good morning.
You didn't look too happy there when Jeff sent you packing.
I know. Well, nobody ever does. Nobody wants to leave.
That look in your eyes, though, that was especially rough. 6 days and an upset stomach pretty much did you in, didn't it?
Yeah, actually, I was only sick for 4 days. The last 2 days, I started to feel a little bit better, but obviously by then, it's just a little too late.
Were you dehydrated? Did you have a bug? What was wrong?
You know what? I really don't know. I started getting sick the first day I was dropped off. As soon as I started drinking the water, I started getting sick. By the 4th day, it was probably the worst I've been so far, which is the day after Diane got voted off. And then I just started feeling better all of a sudden. And the next 2 days, I was just fine.
Well, for somebody who couldn't drink the water, you sure chugged down that blood pretty quickly.
Yeah, actually, I did drink the water. I drank the water throughout the whole show. You just don't see it, but I really did drink it.
But there's the blood. And you are shaking a little bit. I don't know how you did it.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I didn't know what to expect. I thought, okay, if I think it's the worst that it tastes, then maybe it won't be so bad. And once I chugged it down, I thought, oh, this really isn't that bad.
I was watching the clips this morning again, and I literally was gagging as I was watching you swallow it. What did it taste like to you?
It actually tasted pretty good. It was a little warm. But other than that, it was pretty good. It wasn't as bad as people thought. And that's the livelihood. That's how they live. That's how they get the protein. So it wasn't that bad.
You did pretty well in the challenges. You drank the blood, the other challenges, you were right there with everybody else, and yet you were voted off. Why do you think? People just saw you as weak?
I don't think that people saw me as weak. I think I was just mostly the target at the time. Clarence had the bean incident.
The bean incident,
right.
Yes.
Kim had lost the first challenge for us. Kelly had lost the second challenge for us, and I was sick. So I think just kind of everybody just said, okay, let's just vote her off. It was pretty much everybody for their own.
Well, you actually helped Kim up when she fell during the challenge last night.
Right, and I think that just brings back to me being a cop and being the fact that I believed strongly on teamwork. And when I saw her fall, I thought, okay, I'm going to turn back around. I'm just going to help her off. We can do this.
Well, and she apologized to everybody last night. I mean, obviously, she felt bad. Why didn't they vote her off?
Yeah, I don't know.
And it was Kelly who had a problem choking down the blood, right?
Correct.
And yet, her neither.
I know.
It's just so unfair.
Yeah, I think
it's just so unfair.
Things happen. You just got to think about it. It's a show. I was lucky enough to be part of the 16. I made really, really good friends, and I'm happy with how it came out.
So should they have picked you for the blood drinking tiebreaker contest?
I don't know. You know what? I'm so happy I didn't have to do that. But if it would have been me, you would have had to do it. We were willing to do anything that happened at that point because we wanted to win the challenge.
As I was watching last night, I was telling the guys earlier, it seems like this is a bit of a battle of the sexes. The guys are on one side and the girls are on the other side. Did it feel that way to you?
Well, we were there a little bit. Some of the guys kept saying that we were the weakest link at the point rather than the men.
I hate to use another term from another network, but anyway.
Sorry. But at the point, I don't know. We're kind of broken down after the bean incident. Kind of broke everybody down a little bit. So after that, it was just pretty much a little bit of everybody by themselves, and a little of the trust kind of faded away. So, yeah, I think so.
Is it true you've never seen an episode of Survivor before you got to Africa?
Right. I was never a Survivor.
How could that be possible?
I know. When I actually got picked for the show, one of my friends had a copy of some of the shows from the Survivor 2, so I actually got a chance to see like 5 episodes that he had taped that he still had. but I never did get the opportunity to watch a Survivor.
And your sister was the one that said, you know, that's you. You should really go sign up to do that show.
Yeah, my sister got me the application. She did the video with me. She actually never got to see the final video that I edited, just me and my dad and one of my girlfriends. But
which was really just you getting ready for work and sort of doing
very
about your thing.
simple.
What do you think about your sister now? What do you say to her now?
Oh, I love her. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I probably would have never done the Survivor thing, but I really got a great experience out of it.
So going into it, did you realize you had to play as dirty as you really need to do well in this game?
You know what? It was so difficult because, like I say, you know, I believe strongly in teamwork. That's what I come from, teamwork, teamwork. And to be in a show like that is totally opposite. It's like teamwork is there, but there's so much disorganization. Everybody's just trying to win the money. It's all about the money. You could see the people that are all about the money, and there are people that are really just doing it for fun and just to have a good time. So to be like the backstabbing thing, it was so different for me, and I was like, all right, maybe this is just not me to do this.
You've got your sheriff's badge on.
Yeah, I do.
What do the guys back at the station think of all this? And the gals?
They're very proud of me. I haven't been back, so they don't know. I'm sure they watched the show, so I don't know what their feelings are about me getting voted off, but I'm sure they're very proud of me of how far I came. So.
Well, good for you. Stick with us.
Yeah.
And to come and talk to the group at the desk here in just a minute.
All right,
Jessie
thank you.
Camacho, thank you. 8:21, back with more with Jessie right after this. There they are. Welcome back to the early show this Friday morning. It's time to bring back our weekly Survivor scorecard. Here, an update of which of the Kenyan castaways are still in the hunt for the $1 million prize. Last night, the Samburu tribe won its second straight immunity challenge. They're hot.
They're hot. They're smoking.
And still has all 8 original members to compete against the Baran tribe, which is now just down to 6. Clarence, Ethan, Kelly, Kim, Lex, and Tom are the only Baran members left. After Jessie, there goes the big X,
the big X
over the face.
That's nasty,
Sent
isn't it?
packing.
She even looks good with the X on her face. Just want to mention that, too.
Welcome back, Jessie.
Thank you.
I mean, all the guys down here, you know, they can hardly speak when you walk in the room.
Oh, God.
Brian will be so upset that he's not here today. Believe me. Believe me.
Now, this guy's not here to defend himself. You guys are talking all about him.
Oh, we resuscitated Mark earlier,
All right.
as we mentioned.
Oh, my God.
I have some chapstick for you.
Oh, thank you. Believe me, I could use it.
Yeah, your lips, they were in big trouble.
Yeah, they were. I don't know what happened. Probably the dehydration of the water. You really don't believe how important water is until you're in a situation like that. Then it was like, where's that water, you know?
Tell us more about the conditions, because during Tribal Council last night, you said this was some of the toughest stuff you'd ever been through.
Yeah, it was really, really hot during the day. Of course, as you saw, you know, our spring water wasn't the best. It was mixed with a lot of dung from animals and other little creature
said dung
things.
from animals.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Good.
And if you didn't boil it right, of course, you got the bacteria and stuff like that. It was horrible. And then during the night, it was cold, freezing cold. And we had to cuddle at night to kind of keep each other from just freezing. So we had kind of a mixture of both at the equator.
I got to go back to that blood just for a minute. You said it didn't taste as bad as you thought. What does it taste like?
It's kind of hard to describe. It's warm and it's kind of thick, but the milk kind of makes it a little bit thinner. It's really hard to describe. You really can't describe it.
And you're chug-a-lugging it there. I mean, what's going through your head?
Yeah, I'm going, okay, if I just do it as fast as I can, maybe I won't taste it. But once I was done, it was like, all right, this wasn't that bad. So.
Give me another. Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Hey, Jessie, how tough was it? You know, what we see, we don't see all the cameras and the sound guys and all that. You see all of that when you get there. You're not used to seeing that. Take me through how you got more comfortable with all of those guys filming you?
Right. The first that was, I think, the hardest, because you're not used to having somebody there 24/7 with you. You know, you went to the side, they went with you. You went to another side, they went with you. But towards like the third day, you kind of get used to having them there. So there's times that you even forget that they're there, and you're just talking along, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute, I'm on camera. So you got to be very careful what you say too. But it was fun. It was a great experience, something I've never done in my life. So
let's go through some of the other members of your tribe. You can tell us what you think about them, okay?
Okay.
All right, first off, Clarence. You voted for him
Clarence.
last night.
Yes, I did. I wanted to set my piece. I wanted to vote for him the first time because of the bean incident that happened.
She keeps referring to it as the bean
Bean
incident.
incident that happened. And I didn't want to leave without just setting peace with myself. So that's why I voted off.
You really
for him.
didn't like him.
I didn't like him. I've no.
Man,
Sorry,
started
Clark.
to sugarcoat
Okay.
the diplomacy.
She said
Say it like it is. All right. What about Lex, Mr. Tattoo?
Lex was kind of, he was really nice. He kind of set off as the leader of the team.
Yeah, he's kind of emerged as that. Didn't
Yeah, and we got along really good. I don't have a problem with Lex.
he? No.
No, not at all.
What about Tom, Mr. Goat Farmer?
Tom was my favorite.
He was your
He really
favorite?
was.
Really?
What you don't see on screen is me and Tom actually had the best friendship. And me and him, just from day one, we're like, okay, we're not going to vote each other off. We really, really, really had a really good friendship.
The last night in your final words, you said, "I love you, Tom." Was that the Tom you were
That
referring
was the
to?
Tom I was referring to, yes.
Really?
Yes.
It was
Yes.
some lucky guy back home.
No,
But
no lucky guy, no lucky guy. But no, Tom and I just had a great, great friendship. He was excellent.
All right.
He was excellent.
Here's one of my favorites on your team, Ethan.
Ethan, he was very quiet, but he was great.
But he was tough during the
He was
challenge.
very tough. He gave 110%, if not more than anybody else out there on the team. So he was really good.
He's a soccer player.
Yeah.
You said that water was tasting kind of funky. You were looking at it. I have to drink it. I know I have to drink it. What did it taste and smell like?
Oh God, the smell was horrible. You got to understand that what we were given was actual tribal stuff that the Maasai used. So we had this clay pot that was chipping, that had mold in it, and that's what we actually had to drink around. And it's funny because they don't show any of this stuff, but that thing was full of mold. And every time that you put water on it, it was hot water, so a piece of the mold would come into the water, a piece of that clay pot would get in there. So you'd be drinking water, and others would be like, tasting this.
So drinking
awful
blood was
clay
no
pot.
problem.
No problem, but the water was actually worse. And just the smell was even just as worse.
Having said all that, would you do it again?
In a heartbeat, I would. I would do
Everybody
it again.
says that.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because it's so much fun. It's such a good experience, and you just want to see how far you can take it.
Well, how far do you want to take? You're going to ride this wave like some of the other survivors have?
I don't know. I'm kind of leaving myself open right now. My sheriff was really good to give me an option to come back till June of next year. So I'm kind of going to see what happens. But, I mean, if I have to go back to work tomorrow, I wouldn't have a problem. I love what I do.
I think Hef is on the phone right now.
That's right.
You want to talk to her? No, she's not
No
answering.
comment. That's all right. You think about it. Jessie Camacho, thanks.
Thank you
Nice
so
to
much.
meet you.
Thanks.
All right.
I will keep this.
You do. You use it. Thanks.
The pride of Orlando.